Let's talk about a walnut, something you probably have in your kitchen right now. But have you ever stopped to think about what it takes for that little nut to end up in your snack bowl? It's easy to overlook, but the journey of a walnut is anything but simple. It might look simple, but getting it from a California tree to your pantry is a story of hard work, high-tech machinery, and a lot of dirt. Every walnut you eat has traveled a long way, passing through countless hands and machines before it ever reaches your home. California isn't just a player in the walnut game, it's the heart and soul of the industry. In fact, California doesn't just participate in the walnut business, it dominates the game, growing over 99% of America's walnuts. That's right, nearly every walnut you crack open or toss into a salad started its life in a California orchard. That means almost every walnut you've ever eaten came from California's Central Valley. This region is the epicenter of walnut production, stretching for hundreds of miles and supporting thousands of farming families. This is a massive operation, billions of nuts, hundreds of thousands of acres, and generations of farming tradition. It's a legacy built on hard work, innovation, and a deep respect for the land. Why California? The Mediterranean climate, hot, dry summers, and mild, wet winters, plus deep, fertile soil make it perfect for walnuts. These ideal conditions allow the trees to thrive, producing nuts that are prized around the world for their quality and flavor. Farmers here have turned growing walnuts into a science, using technology and year-round care to get the best crop. From monitoring soil moisture with sensors to flying drones that scan the health of the trees, every detail is managed with precision. It's a non-stop cycle of work, all leading up to a few frantic weeks of harvest. When the time is right, the entire community comes together, working long hours to gather the crop before the weather changes. From growers to mechanics to sorters, it's a chain of dedicated people. Each person plays a crucial role, whether they're maintaining the machines, sorting the nuts, or ensuring quality at every step. We're about to pull back the curtain on every step, shaking, sweeping, hulling, cracking, and packing. Each stage is a blend of tradition and technology, designed to get the freshest, tastiest walnuts from the orchard to your table. It's messy, loud, and absolutely essential. The process is tough, but it's what makes California walnuts some of the best in the world. So grab a handful of walnuts and let's see how the real work gets done. As you snack, remember the journey. Every crunch is a taste of California's land, labor, and legacy. This is the journey of the walnut. Let's get started. Get ready to discover the story behind every bite. Before the excitement of harvest, the real work in a walnut orchard happens quietly, day after day, all year long. Each season brings its own set of challenges and tasks, and every decision a farmer makes now will shape the quality of the walnuts months down the line. Walnut orchards demand constant attention, especially in winter, when trees are pruned to open up the canopy. This lets sunlight reach every branch, helps air circulate, and prevents disease from taking hold. Pruning is both an art and a science, requiring experience and a careful eye. Water is precious in California, where drought is always a concern. That's why farmers rely on drip irrigation systems and soil moisture sensors to deliver just the right amount of water, exactly when and where it's needed. This careful management conserves water and keeps the trees healthy, even during the hottest months. Pests are a constant threat, but instead of relying solely on chemicals, farmers use integrated pest management. This means setting traps, monitoring insect populations, and even releasing ladybugs, nature's own pest control, to keep harmful bugs in check. It's a delicate balance, working with nature to protect the crop. The goal is to work with nature, not against it. Cover crops and natural ground cover help prevent erosion, enrich the soil, and attract beneficial insects, creating a healthier environment for the trees. Walnut trees need the right nutrition to thrive. Farmers regularly test both soil and leaves, analyzing them for nutrients and deficiencies. Based on these results, they add exactly what's needed, no more, no less, to ensure a strong, healthy crop. Every step, from monitoring growth to tracking weather patterns on digital tablets, is calculated to maximize both yield and quality. Technology and tradition go hand in hand in today's orchards. It's a year-round commitment, with each season building on the last, all leading up to the main event, harvest. The orchard transforms through the months, from bare branches to lush green, and finally to trees heavy with nuts. Every decision, from winter pruning to summer irrigation and pest control, shapes the final product. The farmer's careful attention is reflected in every healthy tree and every perfect walnut. The result of all this hard work? Strong, resilient trees, healthy nuts, and a crop that's ready to be enjoyed around the world. Each basket of walnuts tells the story of a year's dedication. It's a painstaking, hands-on process requiring patience, skill, and a lot of sweat. But for those who tend the orchards, the payoff is worth every effort. The countdown to next year's harvest begins the moment the last walnut is picked. There's always something to do, always something to improve. That's the life of a walnut orchard, a cycle of care, growth, and renewal, season after season. Now, let's see what happens when it's finally time to pick the walnuts and bring in the harvest. After a year of care, the moment of truth arrives: harvest. Farmers don't just pick a date, they watch for the green hulls to split, signaling the nuts are ready. Harvest too early and the nuts aren't fully developed. Too late, and quality suffers. It's a narrow window, and timing is everything. The harvest season runs from late August to November, with different varieties maturing at different times. Weather is a wild card. Rain or heat can ruin a crop if the timing's off. When about 80% of the hulls have split, it's go time. Teams and machines mobilize for a few frantic weeks. The quiet orchards become a hive of activity. It's the start of the green gold rush. Let's see how they get the nuts off the trees. Harvesting billions of walnuts each year is no small feat. It takes a fleet of powerful, specialized machines working in perfect harmony to get the job done efficiently and on time. The process begins with the tree shaker. This impressive machine clamps tightly onto the trunk of each walnut tree and vibrates it with just the right amount of force, causing a dramatic rain of walnuts to fall to the orchard floor in a matter of seconds. It's a sight to behold, thousands of nuts dropping all at once, blanketing the ground. The operator's expertise is crucial here. They must apply enough power to shake loose every ripe walnut, but not so much that the tree is damaged. It's a delicate balance, requiring both experience and a careful touch to protect the trees for future harvests. Once the walnuts are down, sweepers take over. These machines glide through the orchard, their spinning brushes gently corralling the scattered walnuts into tidy windrows, making them much easier to collect. Think of it like a giant street sweeper, but for the farm, turning what was once a chaotic scatter of nuts into perfectly organized rows, ready for the next step. Next up is the harvester. This machine moves methodically down the rows, using powerful brushes and vacuums to scoop up the windrows of walnuts. As it collects, it also separates out most of the leaves, twigs, and other debris, ensuring that only the cleanest walnuts make it to the bins. The freshly harvested walnuts are then loaded into large bins, which are quickly hauled to the edge of the orchard by tractors. This keeps the process moving smoothly and prevents any bottlenecks in the field. The entire operation is a whirlwind of activity, loud, dusty, and incredibly efficient. Dust clouds rise as machines work tirelessly, but every step is designed for maximum productivity. Harvesters often start at sunrise and keep going until sunset, racing against the clock and the weather. Timing is everything. Getting the crop in quickly helps preserve quality and prevents losses from unexpected rain. Every machine, every operator, and every movement is focused on speed and precision. There's no room for error when billions of walnuts are at stake. The ultimate goal is simple: get the walnuts off the ground and into the next stage of processing as quickly as possible, minimizing exposure to the elements, and ensuring the freshest product. Watching the machines work together is like seeing a mechanical ballet. Each piece of equipment moving in sync, every action carefully choreographed for maximum efficiency. But the journey doesn't end here. Once the walnuts are collected, they're transferred from the field bins onto trucks and transported to the hulling facility, where the next phase of processing begins. Let's follow these walnuts as they leave the orchard behind and begin the next stage of their incredible journey from tree to table. Once harvested, walnuts race against time to the huller. The green hulls are full of moisture and tannins. Leave them on too long and the nuts stain or spoil. Trucks rush the walnuts to hulling facilities, which run around the clock during harvest. Loads are weighed, dumped, and sent through pre-cleaners to shake off dirt and debris. Then, the hulling line uses spinning brushes and water jets to scrub away the green hulls. It's messy, wet, and noisy, but the hard shells can take it. Speed is crucial. Quick hulling preserves the nuts' color and flavor. Clean hulled walnuts are ready for the next step. Every minute counts to protect quality. Now, it's time to wash and dry. After hulling, walnuts get a final wash to remove any lingering dirt. Clean shells are essential for food safety and appearance. Next, drying. Absolutely critical. Walnuts are dried to about 8% moisture, making them shelf-stable and locking in flavor. Massive dryers use gentle, warm air for 24 to 48 hours, carefully monitored to avoid cooking the nuts. Too much moisture means mold, too little, and the nuts lose quality. Once dried, walnuts are safe for storage and ready for sorting. This step is the invisible shield protecting the harvest. The hard work in the orchard pays off here. Now let's see how they're sorted and sized. Clean, dry walnuts head to giant warehouses, mountains of nuts waiting to be sorted. Not all walnuts are the same, they're sorted by size and quality. Vibrating belts with different sized holes separate small, medium, and jumbo nuts. Sizing matters for both in-shell sales and efficient shelling. Next, quality inspection. Workers and high-tech optical sorters remove debris and imperfect nuts. Optical sorters use cameras and air jets to spot and eject damaged nuts in milliseconds. Sorted walnuts are packed into bins, labeled by size, grade, and orchard. Traceability is key. Every bin can be tracked back to its source. Bins move to climate-controlled warehouses, kept cool and dry to preserve freshness. This careful storage ensures a year-round supply. Every step is about consistency and quality. The nuts are now ready for shelling or packaging. Let's crack them open. Most walnuts are sold as kernels, not in the shell. Shelling plants crack open billions of nuts with machines calibrated for size. The goal: break the shell, not the delicate kernel inside. After cracking, a mix of shells and kernels goes through screens and air jets. Shells are blown away, kernels move on. High-speed optical sorters scan every piece using cameras and lasers to spot shell fragments. A puff of air knocks out any shell bits, thousands of times a minute. Human sorters provide a final quality check, grading kernels by size and appearance. Perfect halves are most valuable. Smaller pieces go to baking and food manufacturing. Every kernel is sorted for its best use. The process is fast, precise, and high-tech. Quality is checked at every stage. The result: clean, beautiful walnut kernels ready for the world. But before they're shipped, there's one last test. Let's talk quality control. Before packaging, every batch faces strict quality control. Labs test for moisture, contaminants, and food safety. Nothing leaves without a passing grade. Standards are set by the FDA and industry regulations. Once cleared, walnuts are packaged by automated lines, sealed for freshness and labeled for traceability. Lot codes and expiration dates mean every bag can be tracked to its source. From here, walnuts are shipped across the US, and around 2/3 are exported worldwide. California walnuts travel to Europe, Asia, and beyond, representing American agriculture on the global stage. It's a journey from orchard to table, powered by hard work and innovation. The next time you grab a walnut, remember the story behind it. From a California orchard to your kitchen, it's more than just a nut. It's a global success story.